We got some Miami Heat news on a Wednesday afternoon. This is the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff. Michael Scotto was on it first. The Heat have signed a player. Yes, Malik Williams. He is a former Louisville Cardinal and a center who was actually on the Heat's G League team last season in Sioux Falls before getting called up by the Toronto Raptors. Now, the deal will be an Exhibit 10 contract, which is basically just a training camp invite and tryout for Malik Williams. But let's talk about the newest member of the Miami Heat, if you will. Well, for Sioux Falls, he had an interesting season last year, played in 33 games where he averaged almost a double-double. And he is a little bit of a three-point center, if you will. He averaged about 2 3-point attempts a game for Sioux Falls, shot 32%. But he's actually a pretty solid guy in terms of size as well. He's 6'11", 26 years old. And like I said, he was a former Louisville Cardinal when he played collegiately. And he was a undrafted free agent in the 2022 NBA draft. I'm not going to come up here and act like Malik Williams is someone that's going to make this team. That simply isn't going to be the case. The Heat's roster is full. If they were to make an active roster addition, it would likely be an NBA free agent veteran or someone on a two-way contract like Kashad Johnson, who might have earned that during Summer League. But either way, I wanted to come up here and let y'all know that the Heat added someone to their training camp invite list in Malik Williams, which is why you subscribe to the channel, because we're going to keep you updated on all Miami Heat news. Let's get to some rumors now surrounding Miami, because Kel'el Ware might be wildin'. He was on a podcast appearance, and I'm not going to lie, he said some wild shit on that podcast, specifically when asked about his top players of all time, which these were the four. He named Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, Anthony Edwards, and our very own Bam Adebayo. I have actually some thoughts on Kel'el Ware mentioning this and an overall arching thought on Ware and Bam as a duo going forward, but I think Wilt Chamberlain might be one of the best bigs of all time, right behind Kareem, so I understand that from Ware's take, but to be honest, this might be one of the funniest things I've seen from an NBA player. I mean, it's hard to top some of other great moments out there, but having Anthony Edwards and Bam Adebayo in your top four players of all time, listen, it's a personal preference, but even as a diehard Miami Heat fan, I don't think I could put Bam Adebayo in my top four players of all time. We're going to talk more about Ware and Bam as a duo here coming up in just a second, but we got called out by our Bulls host here at Chat Sports saying that the Heat fans couldn't show up and get 100 likes on this video. F the Bulls. I hate Chicago. Hit that thumbs up button to prove him wrong. All right. I do, though, appreciate Kel'el Ware showing love to Bam Adebayo, because I think we need, as Heat fans, I know we like Bam. I know we love Bam. But we need to be more public about our Bam Adebayo support, because this is truly one of the best players in Miami Heat history and one of the top players in the entire NBA. And I'm sick and tired of his success and ability to be an impactful player in this league go unnoticed. He's one of the more improved big men in the entire NBA. You could thank Jimmy Butler for a part of that, by the way, because I think Bam was going to be good regardless if Jimmy came or not in 2019, but his blossoming over the past 4 and 5 seasons have been something that you have to attribute at least a little bit to Jimmy, right? He is someone who now averages 19, 20 points a game consistently while giving you the best defense in the world and also grabbing close to 10 rebounds a night. I love Bam. He's honestly, I've thought about this before coming up and making this video. I think he is the second best draft pick in Miami Heat history. And you might think that's a little crazy, but when you really believe and think about the Heat's shortened history, remember, they only became a franchise in the mid-or 1980s. I was about to say 1800s. Well, that would have been a different story. But 1980s. So it's a relatively recent franchise in terms of the rest of the NBA, and Adebayo is one of the best picks in Heat history, and we're actually going to talk about that coming up in just a second. But let me know this, and a little bit of a different topic here, because I've also given you my list of top Heat players in that history as well. Bam is the blank best player in Heat history. I have him at number 5. Yeah, you heard that correctly. But let me know your thoughts in the matter. When it comes specifically to the best Heat draft picks of all time, so that takes away any traded players, any players they signed. So this is not the best team in history, but actually when you just look at who they have picked in the NBA draft, D-Wade is obviously going to be number 1, but I have Bam Adebayo at number 2. What he's been able to do over the past 6-7 seasons for Miami has been unheralded. And I think you also have to play into consideration where they were picked. Bam being the 14th pick in the NBA draft really does show me that he is someone that the Heat were able to find a diamond in the rough, and the way he was able to elevate is there. Glenn Rice is up there, one of the best Heat players of all time. Caron Butler, who is now coaching on the Miami Heat, and we'll actually talk about something Caron Butler said later on in this episode. I think he's the 4th best pick of all time for the Miami Heat, one of the best wings in the NBA, and he really helped out the Heat. And then I think Tyler Hero is actually number 5. I know some of y'all might dislike him, but the 13th pick in 2018. Oh my God, 2019. Jeez Louise. My brain is just not working today, folks. But Tyler Hero has been really, really good. And no matter if you like him or hate him, he has been someone that the Heat find in the late lottery. All right, we'll talk more here coming up in just a second, but we do got to show some love to Game Time, the only way that you need to get your tickets this upcoming NBA season. But while the NBA is still in the back burner, you can get tickets to comedy shows, live concerts, live sporting events, no matter where you're living. You go see the Dolphins if you're in Miami. You could go see the Marlins still. I don't know if you want to, but you can. You can go see any type of sporting event you want. And with the new feature that they have called Game Time Picks, that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. It just makes Game Time the best. The Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I used Game Time Picks to get my tickets for the USC LSU game I went to a couple weeks ago in Las Vegas, and I implore you guys to all do the same thing. And I love the feature that they also have called all-in pricing. Toggling that feature shows you the total number of and price of your ticket up front with no surprise fees at checkouts, because who hates nasty surprises? Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and use code ChatSports, ChatSports, for $20 off. Download the app today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, as we progress here, I mentioned we were going to bring up Caron Butler again. Well, it's because he showed some love to Bam Adebayo like Kel'el Ware did. And Butler said when you talk about versatility, when you talk about being a two-way defender, I mean, it's a crime that he hasn't won Defensive Player of the Year. I could not agree more with the Heat assistant, Caron Butler. And I'm on an island, it feels like, over here in the Chat Sports offices, because everyone wants to just go and say, Victor Wembanyama, he's going to win DPOY. He's the best defensive player we're ever going to see. He's not even the best defensive player in the league, man. That goes to Bam. There's no one that is more important and impactful to their specific team defensively than Bam. He can legitimately guard 1 through 5. I know that term gets thrown out there all the time, but Bam is one of the few players, and I think there's like 3 or 4 people that actually can guard 1 through 5. Bam is one of them, and he is the best defender in the planet. I will go to my grave saying that. And if there is no one in the world saying that Bam is the best defender in the planet, well, it's because I'm no longer in this world. And a lot of other fans agree with that, by the way, because this was a fun little social experiment that NBA University did on Twitter/X, where they ranked the top 64 defensive players and did it March Madness style, and then let Twitter and their followers vote on who should win each individual matchup. And Bam Adebayo won. He went through the gauntlet, beat Anthony Davis, beat, I think, Giannis at one point, beat Victor Wembanyama at one point as well. So the fans in the NBA, they know that Bam Adebayo is the best defender on the planet. Bam FC, we are up, folks. Now we just need the media and voters to get on that same page, because when people actually sit down, watch the film, watch Heat basketball games, which not a lot of people do outside of Miami and us Heat fans do, they will realize that Bam Adebayo is the best defender in the entire planet. But I want to circle back the conversation to what Kel'el Ware has to do with this matter and why I wanted to talk about it on today's show. Because the duo on the defensive end of the floor between Bam Adebayo, between Kel'el Ware, could be generational for years to come. When you think of Bam's versatility, his ability to switch 1 through 5, be a menace on the perimeter when defending guards, hand in the cookie lane, getting steals, but also also protecting the paint. Matched up with Kel'el Ware's legitimate rim protecting and defensive acre ability with that 4.5 wingspan and 7-foot height frame that he has. He can deter people at the rim. But then you have Bam Adebayo on the weak side, or Kel'el Ware coming off the weak side if someone drives on another player. Those two can work out so well defensively, and it's really the offensive part of the floor that we have to be concerned about, because they can work defensively right now already and be spectacular, but can they do it offensively to warrant minutes together year one for Erik Spoelstra? Before we even see them on the basketball court, I want to know your rating of the Bam Kel'el Ware potential defensive duo. No rookie scores, which means I want to see some decimals in your answer. Scale it 1 to 10 for me. The only thing that I need to see from Kel'el Ware to make this one of the best defensive duos in the front court in the entire NBA is him to add more to his frame, whether it's just honestly just weight in general. Muscle's obviously going to help, but he might need to eat a couple more cheeseburgers, I'll tell you that, because he is skinny. He is thin. And that's my biggest concern with him. I think the talent's there, the athleticism's there, the pure ability to score and protect the rim is there, but I'm nervous that he might get bossed around inside by some physical NBA centers that are closer to 7 foot, 270 and stuff like that. Kel'el Ware is not really close to that number, so we're going to need to see him add weight in the weight room. I'm going to trust the Heat staff and the trainers to get him right, because when he's able to have those physical matchups inside and have no issues, he's not getting pushed around, and he improves his defensive spacing and awareness, him and Adebayo are going to be one of the best duos of all time defensively. I don't have an issue with saying that, by the way, and I am excited to see them in their minutes this season. Don't think Spo's going to get it too much this year of them together, but there will happen eventually, and it should be fun to watch. All right, make sure you hit that sub button, because we're going to break down everything around the Miami Heat, whether it's a signing like Malik Williams to an Exhibit 10 contract, or it's just talking about the Bam Kel'el Ware defensive duo and the possibilities there. We have you covered here with videos every single day, so hit that sub button.